So, as predicted, as we get closer to the debate this week between President Biden and Donald Trump and the whole MAGA world need to now make up excuses why all of their lies about President Biden are not going to be true at the debate and why President Biden is going to do significantly better than Donald Trump at the debate. So one of the things they come up with is that President Biden is on drugs and that he is being injected with Provigil, and that is why he is performing the way he is with basically performance-enhancing drugs that make him very jacked up. That's what they say. That's what Trump's been saying all weekend. That's what Fox has been saying all weekend. And that's what they're going to continue saying leading up to the debate. Fox had over the weekend Donald Trump's lawyer, Ronny Jackson, who Donald Trump in his own cognitive decline frequently refers to as Ronny Johnson. Ronny Jackson went on Fox and said what he believes is happening is that President Biden's at Camp David this weekend, not just really preparing for the debate, but they are working with President Biden on the various drugs that they are going to provide him with and inject him with. Then Donald Trump gave a speech this weekend where Donald Trump said that they are likely going to inject President Biden in the ass with lots of different medication, which we all know that Donald Trump is the ultimate projector and confessor. So undoubtedly, most likely at least, you have Ronny Jackson doing that to Donald Trump. So here is Ronny Jackson on Fox. He goes on the network that's been sued and settled for nearly $1 billion for their lies. And here Ronny Jackson talks about how he believes that President Biden will be on Adderall and Provigil. Watch this.
Those drugs are out there. They treat the cognition part of it. They try to, make it where he can think straighter and he's not lost and confused as much. And then there's drugs that actually just increase alertness, like Adderall and other types of amphetamine type drugs, maybe Provigil, things like that. And then there's a host of drugs that try to take the agitated edge off of most of these cognitive disorders. So I feel like they're probably giving him a little bit of all of this. They just have to get it just right. They all have different times of onset. They have different duration. They interact with each other. So it's, it's a challenge, but I think they have no choice with what they're working with. They don't have much to work with.
Well, I mean,
and as Molly Jungfast said, every Republican accusation tends to be a confession. As we said, world-class projection. We learn more and more about how Ronny Jackson, or should we say Johnson and Trump, work together every single day. And let's not forget that when Dr. Ronny Jackson was at the White House and he was the doctor to Donald Trump, the White House was turned into a pill mill. Would you be shocked if I told you that at least 4,000 tabs of Provigil were just kind of handed out like candy? And then there was also copious amounts of fentanyl patches, Versed, which is the date rape drug, ketamine, all these other very hard drugs that were being passed around the White House with basically zero supervision. Would you be shocked if I told you that the Navy demoted Ronny Jackson after a probe into his White House behavior and in a scathing report found that he was potentially drunk on the job and engaged in other very serious inappropriate conduct, including overprescribing medication and being drunk while he was on the job? Yet, of course, in MAGA, it's always projection and confession. Here he is right now. And again, watch this. This sounds more like an admission and an accusation rather than an accusation coming from an individual accused of running a pill mill. Play this clip.
I feel like this is probably what's going on over this week at Camp David. He's going to be at Camp David for a full week before the debate. Part of that is probably experimenting with, just getting the doses just right, because, they have to treat his cognition. They have to give him something to help him think straighter. They have to give him something to wake him up, for his alertness. And then, he's been agitated. We see that all the time, and that's a common that's a common symptom or sign of this cognitive disorder that he seems to be suffering from. And so they're probably going to give him something to take the edge off that as well. They didn't get it right just last time at the State of the Union. He came out, he was obviously much more alert, but he was a yelling, angry old man, and he still didn't make a lot of sense. So I think they've got an uphill battle here, but I think that they're going to have to do something to try to wake him up and make him perform a little better during the debate. And I don't.
Yes, and after everything I just told you about Ronny Jackson, he goes, we don't want someone that has to be medicated to perform. Watch this. Again, these are confessions right here. He's talking about Trump, but this is what they do. He claims he's talking about Biden. Here, play this clip.
If they want somebody that can do this on their own, they have to make incredible decisions. They have to multitask every day. We don't want somebody who has to be medicated to perform and potentially get the job done. So I think it's important that they prove to us that he's not doing performance-enhancing drugs of any type.
1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list. If that's you, make 2024 the year you finally check it off the list with Babbel. Be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching, so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. Babbel's convenient courses have helped me learn real-life conversation skills in a different language. It's so easy to learn how to order food, ask for directions, speak to merchants without having to consult language apps while on vacation. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited-time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but it's only for our listeners at babbel.com/Meidas. So get up to 60% off at babbel.com/Meidas, and that's spelled BABBEL.com/Meidas, MEIDAS. Rules and restrictions may apply. By the way, I debated in high school. I ran a Toastmasters public speaking organization in undergrad. As a litigator, my job was heavily reliant on public speaking, debating, taking depositions. I have never heard somebody accuse a great debater. Say, you know what, that debater is really good. I wonder if they're on some PEDs. I wonder if they're on some performance-enhancing drugs, because that level of debating, it must be provincial. It must be provincial. But that's what's going on Fox, and that's what Trump's saying every day. Here, let me show you. This was Donald Trump at the speech from this weekend where he said that he believes Biden is getting injected in the ass with drugs, and that's why Biden's going to do good at the debate. Watch this.
Because they want to get him good and strong, so a little before debate time, he gets a shot in the ass, and that's... They want to strengthen him up. So he comes out, he'll come out, I say he'll come out all jacked up, right? All jacked up.
And let me go back to one more of Jackson, and let me show you something else Trump said. So after saying he sent multiple letters demanding that Biden take a cognitive test, Ronny Jackson says he's sending another letter demanding a drug test. I said they're going to ramp this up. This could be one of the excuses that Trump uses not to debate, because they're coordinating this move with Fox. Watch what Jackson says, or Johnson says, this weekend. Play this clip.
Yeah, Maria, I don't need to tell you, I don't need to tell your viewers or anybody else in this country right now that we have a serious problem here. Everyone knows it now. You don't have to be a physician. You certainly don't have to be a physician to the president to see what's going on right now. So I have sent 5 letters previously asking for President Biden to submit to a cognitive test, very similar to the one that President Trump got while he was president. And all 5 of those letters have gone completely ignored. So tomorrow I'm sending a letter to President Biden, to his physician, Dr. O'Connor, and I'm CCing his entire cabinet. And it's embarrassing that I have to do this, and it's really embarrassing as a former White House physician to have to do something like this, but we don't have any choice based on what's going on. But I'm going to be demanding on behalf of many millions of concerned Americans right now that he submit to a drug test before and after this debate, specifically looking for performance-enhancing drugs.
And that's also kind of consistent with what Trump's been saying last weekend. Here was Donald Trump challenging Biden to a cognitive test and bragging that he aced a dementia test, but then forgets Ronny Jackson's name. Here, play this clip.
He doesn't even know what the word inflation means. I don't think if you gave him a quiz, I think he should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Doc Ronny Jackson. Does everyone know Ronny Jackson, Congress?
And then just so you see, this is like a constant stream that they are, no pun intended, or perhaps pun intended, injecting into the veins of their Fox viewers, that this is somehow a real thing, that there are performance-enhancing drugs going down right here. This was Hannity and Lara Trump. Lara Trump is Donald Trump's daughter-in-law who runs the RNC. Here, Hannity and Lara Trump pre-spin Donald Trump's bad debate showing by accusing President Biden of being on drugs. Play this clip.
The former president, took on the challenge. I don't think he'll regret it. However, the Joe Biden that we're talking about tonight, I don't think will be the Joe Biden we're going to see on debate night. I think the Joe Biden we see on debate night is going to be the guy that we saw at the State of the Union. He's going to be all hyped up, hyper caffeinated, whatever it is. It's interesting that 70% of the country does like the idea of drug testing. I like the idea. They do it to athletes. They do it to horses in horse racing. Why not do it to presidential candidates? I like the idea. 70% of Americans apparently agree with me. However, what do you expect for the debate?
Yeah, well, this is nothing new. Of course, the cards have always been stacked against Donald Trump since the day he came down the escalator to announce he was running for president as a Republican.
And ultimately all of this is because, let's take a look at, I could show you so many of these clips from this week. I'll show you this one of Donald Trump from this weekend, where Donald Trump goes on and on and on about, I'll let you watch it for yourself. Play this clip.
And my stupid people, when I wanted to refute it, they said, sir, don't dignify it with a rebuttal. Refutal or a rebuttal? What the hell word would that be? Rebuttal? What they'll say, he didn't know, rebuttal or refutal, but they don't know either. Sir, it should not be dignified, sir. I said, well, I got to fight that. That's the worst thing you could probably say to me would be that. He said, sir.
So let me know in the comments, do you think Donald Trump is going to debate? Do you think this is the excuse they're going to use, no drug test? Are they going to use the excuse of the gag order? Is Trump going to debate, but then heads I win, tails you lose, and then say, well, he was on drugs, that's why he did better than me. We need an investigation. You tell me what you think is going to happen. But all I can say is that behavior of accusing somebody of being on drugs who you're debating is a very bizarre frame for anyone to use. And it just goes to show you, it's weak and it's odd. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.